dealing with the topic in statistics, which is the measures of central tendency. In our previous chapter, we have discussed one single aspect, which is the reason behind plotting of the charts or graphs or summarizing of the data is to assess the three different aspects of the data. One is the location related aspect, where is the concentration of the values. Two is the spread related aspect, and three being the skewness related. So, in this chapter, which is the measures of central tendency, we would be looking at the various measures associated with the location of the data. And whenever we say the location, it is also being focused as what is the center value in the data. Any data that I have, what is the center value in that particular data? Now, statistics wise, there are three different measures that are talked about. Any data we work on, we can look at the calculation of the mode for that data, the mean for it, and the median for it. So these three measures are called as the measures of central tendency or the centeredness of the data. How do we measure each of these things for the different kinds of data? Generally, what we would be looking at calculation of these things. One, for if the data is completely ungrouped, which is like a raw data completely. If a data is given raw, how do I find out the mean, median and mode for it? If a frequency distribution is given, how do I find out the mean, median and mode for it? And if a grouped frequency distribution is given, how do I find out the mean, median and mode for it? So these are the three aspects for us in terms of finding out the measures of central tendency. And finally, we would look at the advantages and disadvantages of each of the mechanisms as a measure of central tendency. Alright. So let's first start off with mode. The way the mode defines the centeredness of the data is nothing but the most frequent value. In any data, the value that is occurring with the highest frequency is what is called as a mode. And that is one measure of central tendency, because we do have a kind of a notion that the maximum number of occurrences will occur somewhere around the average or somewhere in the middle. Extreme lower values and extreme higher values occur very less in number, but maximum concentration of the values will be in the center itself. That is how the mode got into definition of a central tendency. Now, as I said, in case I want to look at a completely ungrouped data or a raw data, right? So I will look at the mode. If the data is raw, I'll simply take out the one that is occurring maximum number of times. And we'll go back to our data. If I see in the Excel file which data is occurring maximum number of times, let's say I take this data 8, 11, 12. So there are 25 participants here. And if I see just visually, 18 is the number which is occurring maximum number of times, at least 5 times compared to other numbers. There is a 23 occurring 3 times, 21 occurring 3 times, but 18 is occurring 5 times in this data. So from this data I can easily conclude that the mode in this example is 5. So in case of the discrete mode is 18. The number, not the frequency. The number that is occurring the maximum number of times. That is what we are calling it as a mode. So if you get a question which is a raw data and asking you to find out the mode from the raw data, you find out the number which is occurring maximum number of times and denote it as a mode. Now, what about if a frequency distribution is given like this? If a frequency distribution is given like this, wherein the marks and the frequencies are given, then the mode is nothing to be calculated. Check out your frequencies column and see where is the frequency maximum. In this case, at least there are 2 places where frequency is maximum, both for 12 as well as 14. So the